random, but I figured why not try now to go live and try to record on my phone every now and then when I'm just driving around. And this is really just to kind of like address pretty much the state of America right now. Like, this shit is goofy going on out here, you know what I mean? Like, we got all these things going on. Fucking just started the year off and we invading Venezuela. As I put in my video, we really just invaded the shit out of Venezuela. We just decided it was a good idea to run up in there and take the one dude instead of taking the rest of the government. So you may have took the president, but they slid his vice president in there. And now the situation is they saying, oh, it's good that you took him, but now they saying like, oh damn, bro, so like it might not be that good. Like, you ain't really finished the job. You know what I mean? So Americans, like, we over here bitching about it though. You see what I'm saying? I don't understand why we're bitching about it when nobody really cared about what Venezuela was until after this whole Trump situation came down. Now, I heard somebody say that apparently Biden had put a bounty on the bull that Trump went over there and got his head. Now, I don't know how true that is. If he did, put a bounty on his head, then Trump just went and caught him. Basically, is what it sounds like. So, but I don't understand why we as especially in like the black community, it's like we bitching about Trump invading Venezuela when them Venezuelans don't even fuck with African Americans or black people to begin with. Like, I'm always gonna bring it back to, do they like black people? And it sounds pretentious and it sounds super like woke or pan-Africanist, and it's not supposed to, but it's gonna come off sounding like that at the end of the day because them Venezuelans treat them black Venezuelans horribly. Apparently, them Dennis Sperling was doing his little live the other day, if not yesterday, and he was talking about the Venezuelans and how they treat black Venezuelans, and I was like, well, damn, if that's how we moving, then that's how we moving. But again, this is coming from the fact that them people from them other countries come talking shit about black people no matter where they from. What's going on, Kimberly? How you feeling? What's up, Sophia? How y'all doing? So just addressing the state of America right now, y'all. You know what I mean? Because it's real goofy out here. You feel me? And I don't understand how we're supposed to be a group of individuals that everybody fucking hates us. Everybody hate the black people, African American people, but everybody want to walk like us, talk like us, act like us, wear our clothes like us. You know what I'm saying? Listen to our music. They try to make music modeled after us. You know what I'm saying? We got like Asian SZA in there. What's that girl name? The Hey Pookie song. The Hey Pookie song. I can't remember her damn name. I actually like her though. You see what I'm saying? I actually like Shorty at the end of the day. But as a community, oh, for real, Sophie, one of my best friends is Haitians. I actually okay, that's what's up. But I'm just stating about the whole Venezuela thing. The Venezuela situation is crazy because I don't think most people really gave a fuck about Venezuela or what Venezuela was until the word Trump got involved with it, and now everybody care about Venezuela. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the chat right now, but whatever, it's engagement. And we just gotta understand that those people over in Venezuela don't really respect the black Venezuelans. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I say the colorism conversation, because colorism is in every community: black, white, Asian, Hispanic, all across the board. I got some Hispanic friends who was like, yo, we done been mistreated for being black, for darker skinned Hispanic women, and the whiter Hispanic women were treated as upper people. So colorism is everywhere. I don't give a damn what anybody gotta say. And the unfortunate case of this whole situation is You know, the black Venezuelans, you know, I heard they don't really like black people over there. I heard Venezuela is just as racist, if not more racist, than Argentina. And I was like, damn. So, you know, we gotta take a lot of this stuff with a grain of salt. Now, as far as the black community, as far as I'm concerned, we have been finding our own ways to kind of finally start doing for us and doing us differently than everybody else. And if we gonna find a way to do us differently from everybody else, then that's perfectly fine by me. Because it's about damn time we stop rocking out with everybody who don't fuck with us. As a community, we have a responsibility to ourselves. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. Braylon. Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate you. Lazy Cat Forever. What's up? What's up with y'all? But as a community, you know, as the black community, I think we're finally starting to get our word out that we ain't fucking with y'all if y'all ain't fucking with us. And that should have happened 20 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Better late than never. But it's at least happening now. So I'm down with that. You know, you had the one girl recently, Philip Scott just did a reaction on her where she was saying, you know, black women were pretty much tricked into not needing black men. We've been trying to tell y'all this since the 90s. You see what I'm saying? But I'm glad that I'm seeing like more TikToks of black women saying we need to get rid of baby mama culture. We need to go back and make it work with black men to some degree. Now, in my opinion, I think that's beautiful. The problem is there's like too much damage that's been done to the black male's image thanks to the help of sisters and the powers that be, to where we have black men getting torn through the mud on every fucking medium. The talk shows, music, movies, it's all over the place. And it's been going on since at least the 80s to the 90s. And making, what is those movies like Waiting to Hell, Color Purple, and all them other movies that pretty much signed up black men to be these abusive, toxic, abandoning children, sex fiends. And most black men aren't really like that. I'll say the topic of sex in the black community is played out like a mug, but it ain't just the men, it's the women too. And I'm glad I'm starting to see black men say, hell no, the ones that don't move like this, we got standards. We move a certain type of way. We talk a certain type of way. We might know how to switch it up. We might be a little hood sometimes, but we, for the most part, still have a brain we want to use, we want to flex, we want to see the community in a better light. So my issue coming in for this is like, is it really going to be a repair, or is it a repair until y'all get till people get what they want again? And you know, the Democrats come in and be like, hey yo, here's some government assistance again, uplifted, you're better than the men, and you know, men need to do better, and da 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 da. And it's like, so then it just it's a band-aid. No nigga, this needs a mending, this needs a repair, like this needs to get fixed. But the damage is so done that black men, a lot of black men who've married out and have said, I would never go back to black women. And I got brothers who married, who are just not dating because they don't want to date black women, but they don't want to date at all because the economy is so fucked up. They don't want to risk bringing no kids into the world. So it's kind of showing that black men are very, we're being very selective with our sexual activity, and we're being very selective when it comes to who we're dealing with. That took too damn long, but I'm glad it's happening now. You see what I'm saying? I'm glad we're doing this now, as opposed to later on down the road where we're trying to figure this out. Now, on the means of that, how do we get to this point to keep it that way? Because they could easily decide to fuck black men over again, if it's so be it. I mean, Tyler Perry is still going strong. You see what I'm saying? Tyler Perry is still going strong with his bullshit, and he is clearly still making it known that he will happily put the black community at risk if he can get some money. He is the only person who makes who makes all of his money off of black people. I wish I could say Jay-Z was like that, but Jay don't do it. Tyler Perry is the only real black person that's up with some power and some media power presence that gets all of his money from African Americans. And that's something we gotta like really talk about, because bro, you be fucking black men up. You know what I'm saying? You got us either looking like bitch ass niggas, or you got us on there getting beating the women and leaving the kids and raping the women 24/7. Something gotta give. Something really gotta give. So, you know, it's something that we gotta figure out, because the attack on black men has gone down for just way too long. Way too long. And I'm happy that black men are just, you know, the one word that I don't think the country or black women were ever expecting to hear from black men was no. The word no. You know what I'm saying? I got situations where I was like, I ain't dating no girl with kids, and I'm getting cussed the fuck out. But it's like, I don't want your kids, baby. I'm sorry. I done made it to this point where, you know, I'm about to graduate with my bachelor's, and I ain't got no kids. You know, I had to go back to school later. I'm not a traditional college student. I had to go back to school later, and I'm about to graduate now. And even before I was graduating, I was like, I ain't dating nobody with children, because I ain't got no children. And before I was going back to school, you know, there was this girl that had one child, and I was like, I'm willing to accept the one child. But this was before I started going back to college. And it was also before I started putting pieces together of like, how is it that the stepdad never lines up to who the father is? Like, why is it that the father is always some dumbass dude, and the stepdad is the dude that had to fix her problems? And I started thinking to myself, like, I do not want that situation. I am not trying to fix no woman's, you know, toxic ex's mistakes. If you had a baby with a dude that you really shouldn't have had a baby with, you know what I'm saying, why is that my responsibility to fix it? Now, it sounds selfish, but it's also selfish on the woman, because it's like, oh, you know, you got to take care of my child. And they'll try to sell this point to you of like, oh, you don't have to take care of my child. But somewhere down the line, the expectation is still there. So that's an issue on my part. So we gotta get this under control. But like I said, we're seeing black women on TikTok. I hope they mean it. Where it's like, you know, we gotta get rid of baby mama culture. We gotta end that shit. They gotta go out the door. We ain't trying to hear all this shit no more. It was never really good for us, but we kept doing it. But it seems like the message of getting rid of baby mama culture is finally starting to stick. Unfortunately, there will always be those women who are like, I don't care, blah, 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 and they're not trying to hear nothing, whatever. You're always going to have those women that pull up to do that. But that does not mean... So we're going to, you know, that doesn't mean that the women are going to just fall in line and all of a sudden, no, it's going to take a couple years. It's going to take maybe about 2 or 3 more generations for this shit to finally stick completely, but at least we're finally starting. Right? At least we're finally starting, and that's what matters most. You're always going to get pushback from them dickheads who benefit from telling black women what they want to hear to get the draws. You're always going to get pushback from the black women who swear that they're all fucking special and that, you know, we can do this and da-da-da-da. But there's at least a group of women who see that there is a problem with it. And that's all we need. All we need is about 15 to 20% of black men and black women working together to finally start to shift this back. All we need is 20% of each side. So we need about 20% of the community to turn this around. And that's really what it is. That's really what it is as far as us. So let's just start moving this direction somewhere different. We got the Fuck the Streets movement that started at the end of last year. I think that Fuck the Streets movement is, and I made a video about it, it's probably my most recent upload. I think that is one of the most beautiful things to come out of our community in a long time. I think that needs to get pushed. And the fact that it really hasn't been getting pushed is my problem. Because, you know, you got pushback from people. It's like, oh, what do you mean fuck the streets? What you mean fuck the streets? Fuck the streets is what we mean. Like, That shit ain't never did no good for us. I don't care what the money looked like when you was running them. I don't care what the money looked like. You got kids getting unalive now. The kids at least used to be off limits. No, the kids getting taken out. Babies out here. No, man, this got to go. This got to go. So we got a lot of work to do, but the work is finally starting, and it seems like the work is finally starting on both sides instead of just one side trying to make the one dumbass side look better by breaking laws. So it's starting to change. It's starting to change. So we just got to keep pushing forward. So you know what I'm saying? What else we got going on? We don't even know what's really gonna go on this year. Still the first week of January, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know where we going as far as anything, for real, for real. We just know that we out here moving, and we don't know what the hell Trump gonna do next. I saw that the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, they just decided to shut down fully. You see what I'm saying? And they decided to just shut down completely, you know, after they got that funding cut from Trump, because the Republicans swore up and down that the Corporation for Public Broadcasting was targeted, you know, for liberals. I don't think that was the case. I mean, I haven't watched anything under them for years. I haven't been a child in a long time. And now it's coming to the point where they're saying that might cut funding to PBS Kids, or PBS Kids might go out the door. And I mean, I'm sad to hear that, because I used to watch PBS Kids as a kid. But how many children really watch PBS Kids anymore? How many kids wake up in the morning to watch PBS Kids? So PBS Kids going out the door in the era of streaming services and shit like that, it's like somebody could buy PBS Kids. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, this is where Trump comes into the conversation, because it's like, nigga, you just doing what the fuck ever you want to do. And, yeah, it seems like Congress is just sitting there like, yeah, Trump, we ain't going to do shit, bro. We just going to let you do how you going to do it. But you letting them do too much. You see what I'm saying? Cutting the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, that just didn't make any sense at all. Which would pretty much make it seem like corporate television or public television in general is going out the door. But man, so people gotta watch something. I don't know what WGBH is on, but I was like, baby, they should buy PBS Kids or something and see what they can do with it from there. But that's a small feat when you got to think about the Corporation for Public Broadcasting funded probably WGBH too. That's, you know what I'm saying, for a small place, like for a large place like Philadelphia, that's really not that big of a deal for us. But for small rural areas, that is going to be a hit. Like the radio areas and all that, that's going to be a hit. But as a lot of people pointed out, and as I've paid attention, a lot of the shit Donald Trump is doing is hurting his base. His base, them rural dumbass people who be like, oh, well, they think we're the real Americans. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're the real Americans. And they think that the upper East Coast elites look down on them, but Donald Trump is a coast elite. He's the coast elite. That nigga is probably the richest person that lives in New York. You see what I'm saying? He is the definition, but he tricked them motherfuckers, man. He tricked them. I'll give him that one. He tricked them people like nobody business. They be sniffing up this man's ass. Donald Trump, man, that's the realest president we've had. Oh, he's a hero, and he's gonna fix the country. Yeah, okay. Okay, now. You let that be what you think it's gonna be. But we got a lot to deal with, man. This is the second year for him now. So now we got year number 2 of his presidency, and we got to see what comes out of that second year, because this is out of pocket. This out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? He want to be cutting some more funding to mental health, and you know we saw what happened with the white girl that got stabbed on the train by the bull who had schizophrenia. And if mental health was funded like it was back in the 70s and the 60s, or maybe the 70s and the 80s, that probably wouldn't have happened. Now, we can't guarantee that, but there was at least a smaller chance. But with mental health not being funded anymore, really like it used to be, you see all of these things coming out. Like, I'd just be in Philly, I'm like, I've never seen this shit before when I was a kid, because mental health was still at least somewhat funded back when I was a small child. Now that it's not really being funded no more, you're seeing a lot of just a lot, man. You're seeing a lot of shit. And of course, they used that little girl getting stabbed as like a means to a beginning, or like a means to an end. Like, let's be honest, it's because she was white. She was a Ukrainian girl. Remember, Ukraine's supposed to be bad, but she's white. And because she's white, they can use that to kind of like excel them forward in like the stance of like white people are, in danger and this, that, and the third. And look at that savage black man stab that white girl on the train and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you goofy motherfuckers. You goofy motherfuckers. But y'all got it. Y'all definitely got it. So now we got that problem. So now there's definitely more of a race war coming, because it's been on the way for a long time. It's pretty much been on the way since Obama became the president, because Obama unintentionally divided the country. So with all that being said, once Trump got into the White House after Obama left, these motherfuckers started acting real funny. Like, oh yeah, white kids wanting to be acting all tough again. You got white dudes acting like they run shit, and then you got these white women. It's like it was just. Well, honestly, I think Donald Trump made white women want to fuck black men more, but that's neither here nor there. But the situation is what the situation is, and shit is crazy. But there is probably a race war, a civil war, race war, whatever, coming around the corner, because black people still have this thought like, oh, you know what I'm saying, this whole thing ain't gonna be what it is. I'm telling motherfuckers, y'all need to understand, it's going to get goofy. We have too much history of white people showing that whenever black people make $1 out of 15 cents, they want to come burn the shit down or do this, that, and the third. And there's just too many black people, especially the women, who's like, well, I want to marry white men. And I'm like, yeah, but it's time for them to burn you the fuck with us. They're going to burn you with us. Same thing with some black men. I don't mind that black men and black women want to date outside their race to white people, but don't act like just because you're married to them people that their family won't fucking kill you and the person you married to. Don't act like that can't happen. So, yeah, we got a lot of work to do. We got to get ready for the potential idea that this whole thing could go right side up tomorrow. And worst case scenario, they outnumber us 5-1. 5 black women, 5 white girls, or 5 black women to 1 black woman, and 5 white men to 1 black man. But I ain't about to sit there and let them fucking take me out. You're going to have to earn this kill. And that's how everybody in the black community need to be right now, is y'all need to earn this kill. Straight up, you need to earn this, bro. I am not no rollover death. You gonna have to get me for real. So we gotta be worried about that shit. It's gonna be ugly, man. Now I'm probably gonna touch on this more in like its own video, but that white woman that unfortunately got shot by the ICE agent, I think white women have just discovered, oh yeah, this is what niggas been going through for a long time, and now y'all ain't got no choice but to see it for what it is. That white woman got shot by that ICE agent. She unfortunately passed from it, and the first thing they tried to say was that officer was in fear for his life. Damn. I ain't never thought that was gonna happen to no white girl. I ain't never thought that, a white woman would get popped by a white police officer or, ICE agent, and they'd be like, oh, well, that officer was in fear for his life. For a white woman, I thought, Those were the most delicate flowers in the world. You know what I mean? But look at that. Look at that. Officer was in fear for his life. White woman, gone. So nigga, I don't know if they got a nigga wake up call or if they just discovered, oh wait a minute, maybe we're not as untouchable as we thought we were. Well, once y'all decided y'all wanted to have sex with black men publicly, yeah, y'all were never gonna be as touchable as y'all thought y'all was, or as touchable as you once were. I'd say. And especially when you got a bunch of white women running around saying F the patriarchy, even though the patriarchy benefits you more than anybody else. But I digress on that statement because apparently white women are so oppressed just as much as black people have been because they're women and white men and this, that, and the third. But y'all waste no time, benefiting from the patriarchy, knowing that all y'all gotta do is lie and say you're in danger, and you can get a whole fucking neighborhood burned down off of lying. Yeah, it just is what it is, man. Like, and that's unfortunate because I'm looking at it like, damn, black people need to sit the fuck down, man. Just let this shit go down between them. We will just sit here. Let's just keep doing us and watch them fold, watch them fall, because this is what needs to happen. This is really what needs to happen, because this is what happens when you create the society y'all created and everybody gets screwed up from it. This is what happens. So now the systems that you have made have officially played in your face back at you, and you don't know what to do. Oh, you motherfucker. So that's just the state of what it is right now. America is a cesspool and is going sideways as we speak. Every single day is getting more sideways out here. More sideways and a little more ass backwards. So, I got a lot more to say, but it's getting a little weird on this traffic shit. I probably should pay attention. In fact, we just gonna keep going. But yeah, man, if this was like a black man, white people would have been on the internet saying, oh, he didn't listen. He was suspected of doing something. He probably shouldn't have done that. And if it was a black woman, they'd probably say the same shit. And we'd be like, damn, but now there's a white girl getting shot. I actually did see some white women talking about she was gonna run the cop over. I was like, wow, man, white people are really showing themselves right now, man. Like, y'all really showing yourselves. Obviously, I don't think all of you are like this. The fuck is wrong with bull? I don't think all of you are like this, but it is. I do find it funny that y'all gotta make up the same excuse y'all do to black people for your own, and it's crazy. That's really all I can say. Like, it is just crazy about what's going on. Oh, motherfucker. So now white women had to, like, white people, like, yeah, y'all about to get the nigga treatment now. Y'all about to start getting the nigga treatment too, and I guarantee you're gonna see white people running the streets because, damn, bro, I got shot by the cops, ain't nothing happened. Oh, damn, welcome to being black. Like, welcome to being an African American. Like, enjoy this, man. We brothers now. we brothers now. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of this whole thing. That y'all bullshit is coming back to bite y'all in the ass. And y'all really just don't know how to handle it. But see, this is what happens when you set up an establishment that is designed for you to benefit, and you fuck everybody up, and then it starts to collapse on you as well. Donald Trump has been the best / worst thing to happen to this country, and I stand on that because the mask has come off. The mask has come off, and we are finally seeing America for what it is on every single standpoint. But that does not mean everybody's going to go running back to the Democrats. I think the people that left the Democrat Party are never coming back until the addressing of the African American experience is officially addressed. Because the Democrats run on it all the time, but they don't do jack shit about it. And they'll do anything to pass shit for everybody else, but won't pass shit for black Americans. And that shit needs to get dealt with. So, you know, all this shit with, you know, black people leaving the Democrats. Now, we didn't have to vote for Trump. That one I will say. We did not have to vote for Trump. I think it's crazy as shit that we went and fucking voted for Donald Trump. I think that was crazy. Because I was like, bruh, I never in my life thought that I would see black men, black people, period, grown ass black people, say that they're voting Republican. I never in my life thought I would see that shit. But when I finally saw it, I said, oh, something must be happening. Because this is something I never thought I would see. But eventually, you had to assume somebody was going to figure out the bullshit. It was almost like they would have, it's almost like they never intended for black people to be like, oh yeah, by the way, y'all keep fucking us over and benefiting everybody else. What's up with that? Like, what's up with that? So, they got a lot to worry about. Yeah, a lot to worry about as far as I'm concerned. So, you know, we just going to really start doing us when it comes down to it. So we'll just have to see what happens. We'll just have to wait and see what happens when it comes to this bullshit coming up in the next couple of years. Let me sign off of this joint, man. I'm gonna have to catch y'all. This is just like my little first attempt at trying to do something like this. But yeah, man, we're going to have to work on the state of the country shit. We're going to have to figure this shit out as the people. Try to bring some balance to clarity or something. With that being said, I'm out, yo.